Hey everyone, it's Mari. I'm back again today for honeybee stamps with another card making project. I'm going to be using the beautiful Paradise Bloom stamp set. This is just gorgeous. I'm going to be using the Hibiscus, the largest hibiscus stamp there, and I'm also going to be using the companion hibiscus honey cut from the Paradise Blooms honey cut set. And once again, this is just a beautiful set. I really love it, and so versatile. You could do so many things. I'm also going to be using the palm frond cover plate, which I also really love, and I think it's just a really great way to create a card front. And of course, I'm going to also be using the Slimline Sentiments Eyelet Honey Cut. I've been using this over and over again. I absolutely love this. The 4 sentiments here are so versatile. Really love that set. Now I'm going to start off with a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock and some Distress Oxide ink in Abandoned Coral. I've got my Honeybee Stamps blending brush here, and I'm just going to pick up some ink onto my blending brush. You can just see there how much I have on there, not too much. I really love blending this ink onto the Bristol Smooth cardstock just because it blends so beautifully. It's just so smooth, goes on so nicely, so even. And you can just see I'm just creating a little spotlight area there in the middle of my card panel for my card front. So I'm just going to create just a really nice soft blend with a center focal area there. You can see that when it's all finished. Now I'm going to take a piece of Nina Solar White cardstock in 80 pound. I'm going to put that into my mini Misty, and I'm going to stamp out that hibiscus stamp, and I'm going to just put that down, pick it up with the window of my mini Misty here. I'm going to ink it up first with some Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm going to actually do a couple of different coloring methods here today. So I'm going to stamp that out with some Memento, and I'm going to do some Copic coloring on that piece. And then I'm also going to stamp the same image out with some VersaFine Onyx Black ink onto some Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I'm going to do some coloring with my Zig Clean Color brushes here. So I'm going to get that all stamped out onto that Bristol Smooth cardstock, which will take a little bit of water, so that's why I used that paper for that one. Now I did stamp that twice, and I am going to heat emboss that with some clear embossing powder just to give it a little bit of extra something else, something, a little bit of extra dimension and shine. So here you can just see I'm putting that clear embossing powder over the image that I have stamped with that VersaFine ink. The VersaFine ink is a slow drying ink, so that embossing powder will stick to it really nicely. Now I'm just taking my heat tool, I'm melting that embossing ink, and it will just leave a really nice raised edge on that black stamping. So I'm just going to finish melting that, and that will be ready to color. So I'm going to start off with the Zig Clean Color brushes here. I'm using one of the pink colors. I think this one is called Carmine. And I'm just going to go in and put the color down, and then I'm going to take a water brush and kind of flick the color out, just kind of trying to create sort of like some lines in my color, just really gentle, subtle lines to go out from the center of my flower here, my hibiscus. And I am also going to be using a yellow Zig marker here as well, and it's just called Yellow. So the two colors are Carmine and Yellow. I will link up in the description box below to a watercolor marker, so that you have some options there if you are interested in finding something like that. It is a really, really simple way of coloring up an image, and the Bristol Smooth paper makes it really super easy. Now I'm just using a 2-color blend here with Copics on my Copic friendly ink. I'm using an R20 and an R22, and I'm just creating again some flicking motion out from the center so that it's darker in the center and then lighter as it is flicked out from the center of the hibiscus. And I'm just using a 2-color yellow blend. I'm using Y00 and Y11 for the yellow for the center part of my hibiscus. Now I am going to trim those out using the companion die, and now I'm going to use that palm frond cover plate to create some really pretty sparkly detail for my card fronts. I'm going to cut one from this really pretty gold glitter paper, and I'm also going to cut one from some yellow glitter paper. And I'm just going to show you how I'm going to add some antique linen to another piece of Bristol smooth cardstock for the card front for my second hibiscus here. So just adding that antique linen, and then I'm going to take that yellow glitter cardstock. I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine with that palm frond cover plate again, and there's the yellow one over top of that antique linen, and then the die cut hibiscus, which will be on the front. So I'm just going to create two cards here, and I'm going to finish them up. So the one's going to be on a pink base and the other one on a yellow base. And now you can just see that I'm going to use two of these phrase honey cuts to create my sentiment for the front of my card today. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these two cards together by adhering the the piece with the antique linen on it to the yellow base, and the piece with the abandoned coral on it to the pink base. And I'm just going to use the Creative Precision Tip glue tube from Honeybee Stamps to glue down the palm frond cover plate piece onto my card base here. So I'm going to just use that liquid glue to go all the way around that little border that's on the cover plate, and that is going to fit perfectly onto the card front. What I really love about this glue is, well, a couple of things. I love that precision tip, and I also love that the glue gives you a little wiggle room so you can kind of wiggle things around and get things into the right place before it dries. So I've popped my hibiscus up onto some foam adhesive, and now here you can see that I have cut the sentiment from some black, also from some yellow cardstock. That's Gina K Lemon Drop, and that's the same color as the card base for this card, and also from white, so that it's quite a bit thicker and more substantial. And I'll just offset the black and the yellow a little bit here so that you can see the yellow, but you can't see the white cardstock. So I'm going to glue that down to the front of my card. I love this generic sentiment hello. It can be used for so many different occasions. Now I am going to take my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to use that on the Copic marker colored image, just because that Copic marker will not move in any way when the zig color is added to it. I'm not going to put that over top of the watercolor markers, just because it will reactivate the color and move it around a little bit. I'm going to add some stickles to both of the cards to add sparkle and shine to each one. Now for the card on the left, you can see the thanks sentiment on there. I did the same thing as I did with the hello card, in that I cut the thanks from black, from the pink, which is Simon Says Stamp Cotton Candy, and from the white, and then glued them together. Now I'm adding some gold stickles to the center of the hibiscus on the left. That's the one that's the watercolor hibiscus. And I actually decided to add silver stickles to the one on the right, the Copic marker colored one, just because I thought the silver just added a little bit of something extra that wasn't just gold again, just because I felt like that one it had enough yellow with the background. I just thought it might look really pretty with a little bit of silver. And so I added the silver to the center of that one, and it just looks really, really pretty. I like how that turned out. Now I'm going to show you a close-up of both of the cards now that they're all finished. I really like how these turned out. These are pretty simple cards to create. These dies are amazing, and they make creating a card so simple and easy, but creates a stunning product when it's all finished. And I really like how these turned out. So I will make sure that I leave a link in the description box below to the products that I used today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you were inspired to create some fun floral cards. I really enjoyed this myself. It was a lot of fun. Have an amazing day, everybody. Stay safe, and I hope to see you again here on Honeybee Stamps. Make sure you check out Honeybee on all of the social media platforms. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit that like button. Have an amazing day, and I hope to see you another time. Bye-bye.